So let's begin making our paper snowflakes. So for this project, you're going to need a piece of paper and a pair of scissors. You can also use a pencil with an eraser if you would like, but you do not need this. Alright, so let's start off with our paper. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take one corner of your paper and you're going to fold this corner over to the long side of your page. So take the short side of your page, fold the corner over to the long side of the page. See how I'm matching it up? Right along the edge. Both of the sides of the paper match up. Take your finger down to the point, hold your finger down, whoop, and press on it to make sure it's nice and folded. When you press on it, it keeps it folded nice and tight. Now, do you see this extra little piece of paper at the end? We're cutting that off. So cut along the edge of this triangle. See how I cut that extra paper off? Now I have a triangle. When you unfold your paper, it's now a perfect square. So let's refold our paper again. And have the long side of the paper facing away from you, and have the point facing towards you. What we're going to do is look at the long side of the triangle. You're going to take the point from one side and you're going to bring it over to the other side. You're going to fold this triangle in half. And then push down on the corner and take your other finger and whoop, press down on the paper and fold it nice and tight. Drag your finger across. So now we have a smaller triangle. Go ahead and move it so that the long side of this triangle is pointing away from you again, and this side is pointing at you. We're going to do the same thing. Take the long side of the triangle, take a corner, fold it over to the other corner. See how we're folding it in half again to make a even smaller triangle? And take your hand and press on those edges so that it stays folded. So now we have a baby triangle. So once you made your baby triangle, unfold it. See how we have this fold in the center? Now pay attention to this part because it's tricky. We're going to take a corner of the triangle. Now you should probably watch me before you do this, okay? See this fold? I'm going to fold this corner up so that the side of the triangle, this side here, see how I fold it up? It lines up with that fold in the center. So match this line, this side of the triangle up with this line. Here we go. And you bring the point in and fold it like that. See? Make sure you have a nice little point. But if it's not perfect, that's okay. And use your hand and press down on your fold. So now you have that. What we're going to do is we're going to take this little fold and just boop, fold it over. And see how we have what looks like an arrow pointing at us? That's what we have. So this is what we have after we've folded everything together. Once you have this arrow shape, you're going to take your scissors again and you're going to cut these two parts off. You're going to cut straight across so you have just one simple triangle. And watch your fingers. Make sure you're very careful. Hold the tip while you cut so you do not cut yourself. Watch what I'm doing. See how I'm cutting? I just cut straight across, so now I have a triangle. Once you're here, you can do one of two things. You can draw in a bunch of different patterns and shapes and then cut them out, or you can just go ahead and start cutting into this. The cuts that you make will make your snowflake. Now to start off, I will show you two things. I like to cut a little triangle out of this short end. This gives your triangle a nice round shape. And remember, when you're doing this, be careful. Scissors are sharp. Okay, so I cut a triangle out of the end. Now, if you want an open space in the middle of your snowflake, you can cut the tip off. If you don't want an open space, that's okay. So I'm just going to cut my tip off because I do want an open space in mine. And then after that, just cut whatever shape you want out of the sides. You can cut as big or as little as you want. I love triangles. The more shapes you cut out, the more detailed and cool your snowflake will look. See, I'm cutting really thin triangles out of mine. Very cool. All right. See, and you just keep cutting. Just keep cutting and have fun doing what you're doing. Just keep cutting. Cut what you want. Cut as many shapes or as little shapes as you want. And then, so see, here you go. Now I've cut, these are all the shapes I've cut out of mine. We're all going to have very different snowflakes, but as you see, when you unfold your snowflake, you have to be very careful. You don't want to rip any of these small pieces of paper because our snowflakes are delicate. And let me move my cut paper out of the way. As you can see, here you go. We now have a paper snowflake. And you made it with just a pair of scissors and a piece of paper.